In this video, I'll show you the highest 10 things to try to do in Malta within the past. Somewhat overlooked by travelers for other European destinations. This beautiful little Mediterranean island has grown in popularity in recent years. And rightly so. Malta is well known for its crystal clear seas and also the fact it gets quite 300 days of sun a year. But there's most more to the current wonderful country that's so rich in history, and I'll facilitate your understand how to make the foremost of your trip here. And for more tips and travel content, ensure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Number 1. Where better to start out than the capital of Malta? Valletta. Founded in 1566, Valletta is one of the tiniest capital cities in Europe. But despite its size, it's filled with sites of historical significance dating back to the 16th century and an array of buildings with strong Baroque architecture. It's no wonder that the whole city was officially listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site back in 1980. Valletta could be an excellent spot to take off your trip to Malta with such a lot to work out. And do like visiting the National Museum of Archaeology, capturing some amazing panoramic views of Malta. Moreover, as spectacular cannon salutes at Upper Baracca Gardens, or indulging in an exceedingly delicious meal at Soto Pinto Romana, where they need the simplest tiramisu I've ever tasted. Valletta wasn't always the capital of Malta. So at number 2, I'm visiting show you the old capital Dinner, otherwise known as the Silent City because of its fortified walls and strict vehicle restrictions. Dina could be a beautiful example of medieval and Baroque architecture, and spending time here are going to be lots more peaceful than other things listed during this video. Famed for its association with the Apostle Paul, who is alleged got shipwrecked on the islands in 60 AD, and also would be within the filming location for King's Landing within the first season of Game of Thrones. Dinner is certainly an area I'd recommend during your trip to taking some history and even try some traditional Maltese delicacies, but we'll get onto that a touch later. Next up is St. Julian's, a town along the northern coastline of Malta and doubtless the foremost urban place on the island. St. Julian's is a generally busier and more built-up area in Malta. It's where I stayed during my trip, as it's quite well connected to other attractions, and there is a lot of restaurants that you just can visit along the promenade around Spanola Bay. One I recommend you take a look at Islora and Fitch Steakhouse, which is where I had by far the simplest meal during my time in Malta. Man, I could do one amongst those steaks right now. Anyway, St. Julian's is additionally particularly popular amongst young people, with Pageville being a region known as a hub for nightlife and entertainment, but there's also St. George's Bay nearby, which is enjoyed by people of all ages. Keep watching. Note if sandy beaches is what you are looking for. Number 4 is Blue Lagoon. Located on the island of Camino. Blue Lagoon is one in all Malta's not so hidden gems. It is a bucket list location known for its stunning crystal clear waters and jagged cliffs. The water's literally so clear it's like being during a swimming pool. But study, take a look at, observe, study this. Look at this water. Man, beautiful. The island Blue Lagoon belongs to Camino. is so fascinating itself with literally only 2 inhabitants across the full island, so if you discover Blue Lagoon a touch too crowded, then Camino makes the perfect location for a peaceful hike or wander through the plethora of wildflowers and herbs, especially cumin, which is where Camino's Maltese name Kimuna comes from. You'll be able to jaunt Blue Lagoon and Camino via boat or ferry from Sliema, where you'll be able to also visit Crystal Lagoon and therefore the caves of Camino too. Number 5, and also the second largest of the Maltese islands, is Gozo. Perhaps deserving of his own video. Visiting Gozo was a real highlight of my time in Malta, and something I actually recommend you are doing. With popular locations like Cittadella, Tipunu, and what's the remaining of the Azure Window after it sadly collapsed in 2017. Gozo has most rich history and natural beauty to supply. I actually believe it is an underrated place and a requirement visit during your trip to Malta. The ferries state from Valletta are fairly frequent, running every 45 minutes until late, and it costs just on the 504 return ticket unless you're during a car. Then it's around €10 more to actually get a Saro, a rustic, or place you visit. I think it is so important to undertake the local cuisine. Then the following thing you should do is try some Maltese delicacies. First up is patati, which is at the plural name for pastids, a delicious traditional savory pastry that's usually filled with ricotta or curried peas. You can get this from the popular Crystal Palace in them dinner, but they sell it everywhere. Malta, the general public, they love these things. Yeah. Let me try it. You can also try rabbits, which is the main ingredient to Malta's national dish. Stuffed. And then there's also Maltese bread. It's very dry. And look, I'm squeezing it and it's still barely moving. It's a no on behalf of me. Now I eat everything and there is not much food I do not like, but while my expectations were very high, I did find Maltese bread to be a small amount hard. I still recommend you life depends on that.